What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're coming at you with a odd odds deck profile. So let's jump into the deck profile and let's see what we're coming at you with. We're still running our 3 odd odds Arc Pendulum. This guy is your main go-to staple for your high scale. You want to get him on the field, just start destroying your odd odds cards. That way you can special summon your odd odds and start going off on your opponent from there. We're also running 3 of the OG original odd odds Pendulum Dragon. This guy, he's just all around good for either maximizing damage for just burn or either minimizing damage for whenever you take the wrong types of damage in the battle. And also too, he's also good at the end phase, getting that good search for your level 1500 or lower monsters. So he's all around good. If you got your Arc Pendulum in the pin scale, whenever he blows up, if you haven't used the Arc Pendulum effect, you will get the trigger off of this. So that's very good too. We're running 2 of the odd odds Phantom Dragon. This is just good for beating down the opponent. He's just like the odd odds Pendulum Dragon in the fact that he does the burn damage. So he helps you do a lot of extra little burn to help OTK your opponent a little faster. We're running 3 of the Persona. Persona is a mandatory in this deck. You want to have him at 3. He's going to do that good little thing where whenever he's on the field, he's going to make sure that your opponent, they need the extra deck monsters to kind of pop off their effects. Let them chain them first, chain this second to it. That way you can stop that effect and just tell that monster, say, "Whoa, sir, you're getting a little too crazy over there." We're also running 2 the Odd Odds Mirage. This is a backup high scale, but also too, the reason why we want to run it is just there's sometimes if you want to go into your Electrum, you're not going to be able to do it because odd odds are all high level monsters. So this would be an easy way to get a normal summon on board. That way you can go into it and just go in with your plays from there that you need to go into. We're also running 1 Odd Odds Lancer. A lot of people dislike this card. I like this card, I just don't like seeing it in hand. But with the Odd Odds Arc Pendulum, it's able to get the Pendulum Summon, not the Pendulum Summon, the Special Summon effect, and still get on the board and still make things a little easy for you. He's very good for making sure you can protect your boards that have odd odds on them by destroying odd odds in hand or on the field. So that helps out a lot with protecting your board. We're also running 1 Steel, 1 Destrudo. Destrudo is just good for helping you go into that Meteor Burst. Also too, he's a level 7, so he's going to help you get into those rank 7 plays. We're also too still running the Supreme King package. So we're running the 3 Astrograph and the 1 Stargazer. This is just a good package. They have not hit this on the ban list. And as long as they don't, I say about any and every deck that you can run this in, you should do it. If you're going to blow up cards, run this card. It's going to help you search that card that's blown up and just help you get easy free pluses from that. We're also running one of the greatest searchers that they've ever produced, and that is our Supreme King Dark Worm and his searcher for the Supreme King Gate 0. This is a ultimate search engine in getting your low scale. Also too, the Supreme King Dark Worm, if he's in the graveyard, whatever you do, guys, if you play against this kind of deck, just don't strike this card. Just let it come on out. Just let it do what it's going to do, because they're going to still be able to get that card to come out of the graveyard. So if it's in the graveyard, it's going to come out. But that is it for our monsters. For the spell cards, we're running 3 Spiral Flame Strike. This card is very good for either like clearing the board if you got an odd odds card on the field, or also too just being able to get the odd odds card that you need. It's a level 7er odd odds card, but you'll be able to get that to hand and start getting the pluses that you need from there. We're also running 2 Duelist Alliance. Duelist Alliance is good. I'm running it only at 2 because I don't want to see 2 copies drawn in hand first turn or any turn. But the fact that you can have this card, get your play set up to get you either Odd Odds Pendulum Dragon or Odd Odds Arc Pendulum Dragon, get them in the field, get your plays going from there. We're also running 2 Summoner's Art. Like I said, I want to get that Arc Pendulum in my hand as fast as possible. Like I said, a lot of the key plays start off with him being on board, helping you generate a lot of plays. So like I said, as soon as I can get to him, much better. We're running 1 Foolish Burial just to make sure we can get that Destrudo either in the graveyard or that Dark Worm in the graveyard. Either way, we want to be able to set up our graveyard, that way we can start getting our plays going. We're running 2 terraforming because we want to be able to get to our spill spell. It's going to be an easy pop for us to get clear things off the board and get our arc pendulums effect. Also, too, it's going to be able to help us to get our field spell that's going to help us to get our plays going. And that field spell is our Sky Iris. Sky Iris is like one of the best field spells in my opinion. The fact that you're going to protect your pen scales for the most part. Also, too, it's going to help you to pop cards, to be able to search out a card, and it helps you to just really get your plays going from there. We still run 1 Odd Eyes Fusion. Odd Eyes Fusion, I feel, is just a mandatory staple. Even though it's not as big, a lot of people like to use the Dissolver, but to me, this card is still good because you can either send cards to the graveyard that you need to, or either to the extra deck, and you can still use cards just to be able to just get over your opponent just because they got too much out there. Just very good. And lastly, we're still running 2 Wavering Eyes. Wavering Eyes is good. If you don't want to run Wavering Eyes, if you think it's too much search and it's going to be too costly for you, you can switch this out to your Cosmic Cyclones or your Twin Twisters, whichever one feels best for you. But to me, I like to run the Wavering Eyes just in case my opponent likes to Twin Twister me. I can blow up my scales, and that way I can still get a search, burn in for 5, and get me a search off of it. But that is it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we're running 1 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst. Very good card, in my opinion. To be able to, when it's on summon, to special summon a monster out of your pendulum zones right beside of it, you're just going to be one of your Odd Eyes. It's going to help you go into an easy rank 7 play. We're still running 2 of the Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. This guy is just all around good for getting good free negates. You're going to have your extra deck loaded up with pendulum monsters. Your opponent starts to activate something, just say, no sir, you don't need that. Spin that pendulum monster back from the extra deck and you get resources back. So that's very good. I'm running 3 of the Odd Eyes Absolute. Odd Eyes Absolute, is a monster reborn for the Odd Eyes. Also, too, when he leaves the field, he's going to help you to get either your Odd Eyes Vortex on the field or the Meteor Burst to the field, whichever one you want to do. Either way, you're going to be able to have a lot of good plays, and it's going to help you back up a lot of plays, too. We're running 1 of the Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. This guy is just good for once you got your board set up, you got your negate set up, you can end up putting this guy on the board lastly. That way when your opponent goes to their turn, they can just start eating them up for damage. And I like that a lot. We're running 1 number 11 Big Eye just because Big Eye is Big Eye. You want to snack steal, you can go into snack steal action, get your opponent's monster. If they got a little too crazy over there, as long as it's not a Borlo Dragon, take it. We're also running still 1 number 61 Volcasaurus. This guy, like I said, we got all these level 5s in our deck. We don't want to have him just sitting there in the extra deck doing nothing. If we can go into something that's going to negate, also too, to be able to special summon, it's a level 5, 2 level 5s out there, and we can burn our opponent. Let's do it. Go ahead and get that OTK in. We're running still 1 Supreme King Dragon Dark Rebellion. This is good, just like a Utopia the Lightning. Just to be able to make sure we hate on those effects that's in the battle phase and just stop all that crazy stuff. We're running 1 Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom. This is good just to make, to me this is a backup Electrum. If you wanted to, you could switch this out for Electrum, but to me that's what I look at him as. Also too, his effect and the trample is very good. That's what I really like about him a lot. We're also running 1 Underclock Taker. I really like this card in many decks that I run. The fact that you can put a Odd Eyes underneath this guy, use his attack points to shrink that opponent's monster down, and it's almost like the old play where you had Zexel, the number 30 Utopic Beyond. It's kind of similar to that, where you get the good OTK damage, just burn your opponent really hard. We're running 1 Heavy Metal Foes Electrum. This guy's just all around good. He really opens up your deck. Gets the maximized plays for you for your pendulum monsters, so he can help, just start spamming the board. We're running 1 Deco Talker because about every deck that plays now, you need Deco Talker in it just to get that good, Link monster out there. He's a good, easily 2800 if you get 1 monster underneath him. You load him up, and also too, you get the good negates. Very good. And lastly, for the extra deck, we're running 1 Zephyr Metatron. This is just good for opening up 3 spots. I really like that a lot. To be able to open up 3 spots, the main play I like to go into is to go into the Absolute Dragon, Odd Odds Absolute, and the heavy metal foes, and then go into this guy. That way the Odd Odds Absolute comes underneath him, and you can just extend the plays from there. But that is it for the deck profile, guys. We'd like to thank you for all the help that you give us. If you want to support the channel, always make sure to check the description box for any links that you might be interested in. But we thank you guys for all your support and your love. We're out.